Silver is a strategic metal, and with mounting industrial demand, it's only a matter of time before previous all time highs are met, and then a new push to triple digits is on the way, said Keith Neumer, CEO of First Majestic Silver. He said that silver will outperform gold in this cycle that we are currently in and over the next 5 years. If there was no beta, then why buy a miner? You might as well just go buy the physical metal. The whole beauty of buying a good quality mining stock doesn't matter if it's silver or any metal. That mining company, its shares should outperform the metal, and then generally speaking, they do. When silver starts to move, the money starts to flow in this sector, and it's a tiny sector. Being an investor in this space has not exactly been easy over the last 5, 6, 7 years. When the metal prices don't perform, then we have to cut back our investments, and that often includes cancelling or postponing projects and all these kind of things. A start and stop type of activity that the miners are forced into sometimes do add to cost because it's expensive to do that, so we have to try to remain conservative as best as possible in order not to go crazy on the CAPEX side just because we see higher metal prices. When the price rises, greed rises. So it takes two to tango. It takes two groups to say yes to a transaction, and often when prices are running, as we have seen that they have done over the last couple of years, the sellers tend to shy away a little bit. It's more challenging for the buyers to do deals. So MA transactions do definitely slow down. The other hindrance is the lack of conferences, mining conferences, whereby the executives of all these mining companies or you have a chance to see each other face to face and actually talk about deals and what things look like in the future. That really helps or has helped historically MA transactions, and without those conferences, that's also had a negative impact on MA activity. Keith Neumer has earlier called that silver will definitely touch triple digit. He said that silver is in a unique position where you have got both components to consider. Silver is more of a strategic metal than a precious metal, despite the fact it is precious. Going to the precious story per second, in 2020, for every ounce of gold mined worldwide, there were only 7 ounces of silver mined, which is a pretty shocking number considering we are trading at something in the order of 70 to 1 in the financial markets. So that's just that now on the pure demand side. When it comes to whether it's the Green Deal or whether it's just the electrification of the planet, or you look at copper prices, you look at commodities, that ore is really the only commodity that's not really reaching its highs that it has reached out on two separate occasions back in 1980 and then in 2011. We are going to see that high breached in this cycle, and when it does, it's going to wake up the market. Once it breaks through the 50 level, it's going to get up to the 100 level pretty quickly, says Keith. He also adds up that it might bounce around 70 or 80, who knows? But those are the kinds of numbers copper broke through 10,000 pounds a few days ago. Oil is on its way back to 100 a barrel, and we are getting into a pretty inflationary times. Also, you add the actual supply deficits on top of that with silver, you have got a perfect storm just in the making. There's no substitute for silver now. If you go back 20 years and look at solar panels, today there's less core being used in solar panels due to efficiencies in the technology. So the other companies who produce this material for the solar panels have been able to reduce the amount of silver used and also at the same time have the same power density. There's a limit to that, and it's likely to reach now. So whether the solar panel industry can actually reduce silver even further, there's a lot of doubt around that. You could go to a very cheap solar panel, but the efficiencies are going to drop below 25%, and then the silver panel itself is almost uneconomic. Other technologies like electric cars, that's not going backwards. Keith adds up that the future is electric, and then probably after that fuel cells. The next big move is going to be electric cars. That's going to be a huge consumers of silver. on the data released by the Silver Institute that reported that 2020 saw the biggest surplus in the silver market on record. Newmer challenged the collection methodology. He said that these numbers are made up. The Silver Institute reported a net positive balance of 80 million ounces in 2020, the highest surplus ever recorded. But once you subtract the 331 million ounces of net investment in exchange traded products, also known as ETPs, the balance becomes a negative or deficit. Newmer further challenged the Silver Institute's collection methodology on certain line items like recycling, which is shown as a supply item. He argued that if you look at recycling, for example, at 182 million ounces, how they come up with that number? Because most of the recycling actually comes from refineries and smelters, and most of them are privately owned and they don't record. So finding recycling data is very difficult. They reported a surplus in the physical market space. For some other retail investors, there seems to be a shortage of physical silver bars and coins, gold as well to a certain extent, but less. So where the discrepancy comes from? How can there be a surplus in the physical space, yet a deficit and shortage in the physical coins and bars markets? Refineries have gone bankrupt over the last couple of years because there's just so little business. So it's hard for these mints to actually meet the demand. But it's also another issue. 1,000-ounce bars, which are the commercial material that gets delivered into the industry, are the priority of the system. Though those bars need to get into the industry to produce products. So the banks will push there because they have commitments to get this metal to the industry. So they push that metal. So the retail investor is really last in line. It takes a lot of effort for some of these mints to actually go and source out 1,000-ounce bars to break them down into retail products. At the end, Kit concludes and says that if the premiums continue to be where they are today, which is sure they will, the premiums will drag out the paper price. Now I would like to know your thoughts about silver. Also, if you found this video really good, I would suggest you all to press that like button, subscribe to this beautiful channel. I'll catch you up in my next video. Till then, have fun.